Welcome everyone to the March 26, 2026 IDA meeting. Note for the record, we have a quorum, and I'm going to, before we do a roll call, I want to welcome our two new board members to the IDA, Chris Nuzzi, George Schwartle. Thank you so much for joining. We welcome your expertise and volunteering agreeing to be on the subcommittee of the IDA. So let's give them a warm welcome for joining. And with that, let's start the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. George, you?
Sure.
Yes.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Kelly, could you lead us in a roll call, please?
Certainly. Sarah Lansdale,
Present.
Kevin Hardy via Zoom,
Present.
Chris Damianos via Zoom,
Present.
Greg Casamento,
Present.
Chris Nuzzi,
Present.
George Swirtle.
A note for the record, we have a quorum in person here in Hog at the Dennison Building. We are going to take a few things out of order in the regularly posted agenda. And so I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session. Bill, will you please advise why we're going into executive session?
Yes, we're going into executive session because we will be discussing personnel matters. Under the law, section 105, public meetings law, there is an exclusion with permission to permit a public agency such as an IDA to go into session.
So great, that's a motion to go to take it out of order.
Yes.
And the reason why we're going out into executive session. So I would imagine we need two
Yes.
orders of business. So the first one is taking it out of order. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any noes or abstentions? So that was the motion to go to take this out of order, and that was the motion was made by Greg Casamento and seconded by Chris Nuzzi. And it was unanimous. The next item is to go into executive session. Is there a motion to go into executive session?
Motion. I guess I know.
Motion made by Casamento. Is there a second? Second by Nuzzi. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I'd like to entertain a motion to come out of executive session. Is there a motion? Motion by Greg, second by George. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We are now back on the record. Agency Counsel Wexler, could you please report out?
Yes, Chairman Lansdale. The board met in executive session and no action was taken.
Thank you so much. We'll move to the regular agenda. First item up is public comment. Any members of the public who'd like to be heard? Do we have any cards?
We do not.
Seeing none, we will close the public comment and move to new business. Seeing that we do not have any new business, we will go to old business. First up on the agenda is 71 Bill LLC, a request for a final resolution. Kelly.
Yes. So I would like to invite Dan Baker from Greenbrier and Dee Dee, are you coming up or no? You don't have to. That's entirely up here. He is the managing member at 71 Hill. In case there are any questions from the board. So we today are here requesting a final authorizing resolution for this project. We performed the public hearing in the village of Southampton. There were no attendees with the exception of Mr. Baker. And no comments were received for further consideration by the board before the vote today.
Great, and just to confirm that the public hearings are held in the local community or in the area where the project
They are
is in
in
the
the taxing jurisdiction, yes.
Thank you. Questions from the board?
We hope it wasn't too lonely for you.
I'm sorry,
We hope it wasn't too lonely for you by yourself.
out in Southampton? It was sadly a cold, rainy, dreary day, so I went there and I came back out west.
Great. We have two board members who are participating remotely. Thank you so much for attending. Do you have questions for the applicant?
None. No,
Seeing none, what is the pleasure of the board at this time on this application?
Make a motion.
Okay, Kevin, you'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Greg is going to second it. All those in favor?
I,
Noes or abstentions? Seeing none, it is approved. Thank you.
Thank
Next up is
Thank you very much. And
HCP
I'd like to
Belmont
welcome
LLC.
two new board members. I've known them both for quite some time. And both working with them. Also, thanks to staff and everybody for making this project go as smoothly as possible as usual. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. HCP Belmont LLC, this is a request for approval of change of ownership and control of HCP Belmont LLC, the consideration and authorization of additional mortgage reporting tax and sales tax exemptions. This is a 100% affordable housing, senior housing development, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Age restricted.
Age restricted.
So today we have, Emil Pelliker, with his counsel. Right?
Yes, Amy Keller, Canyon Woods.
Okay, great. So just in case there are any questions, but I'm gonna turn it over to, Barry Carrigan to, summarize the transaction that's being proposed today.
Sure, thank you. This is an upstream change of control of the existing ownership of the facility. A new owner is going to come in. They're going to invest about roughly $1.5 million to upgrade mainly deferred maintenance type things, but about $9,000 per unit, a new roof, new chillers, some additional pavement repairs. They're asking for in round numbers, $75,000 in sales tax and a small amount, roughly $6,500 in additional mortgage reporting tax exemption for the gap mortgage that they plan to finance the improvements and the purchase of the facility with. No changes, obviously, to the restrictions on any of the affordable units.
And just to note, those are generally 60% AMI or less.
Questions from the board?
okay, so just to reiterate again, they are investing $1.5 million in the facility on improvements and the sales tax exemption is on that 1.5? Did I get that right? Okay,
Yes.
and they're planning on financing the 1.5 million with a $1.5 million mortgage on the property?
No, they're putting about an $18 million mortgage on, but they're gonna assume the existing mortgage on the facility. So there'll just be a gap mortgage that will be for the difference. So they're keeping alive the existing mortgage reporting tax exemption and just gonna pay on the incremental increase in the mortgage.
Well, how much is the existing mortgage or what is the what was the initial mortgage?
The initial mortgage was $18,229,000. And the new mortgage will be $19,096,000. So the
Okay,
gap,
so yeah, so that's where the majority of the money's coming from for out of the $1.5 million, I'm assuming.
correct.
Okay, all right. My concern was that the dollars wasn't going into the facility, but the dollars were going into the seller. That doesn't look like it's necessarily the case here. Okay, thank you.
Great. Any other questions from the applicant or transaction counsel? Seeing none, is there a motion that the board would like to consider?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those abstentions? It is approved. Thank you. Next up is BGRD Northridge. This is an assignment of project to 1046 New York Avenue LLC.
Yep. So Tim Shea from Sir Tillman Bowen is here to answer any questions on the client side, and John's here, and we have Andrew back. I'm so happy to say, he's feeling well enough to join us again, so welcome back. So Andrew will summarize the project for the board.
Sure.
Great.
The request to the board is to authorize the transfer and assignment of IDA benefits over the BGRD Northridge Renaissance project. This project closed in 2017. It is a 16-unit residential rental property, which is now in year 8 of a 15-year pilot. And this is an outright sale of the facility to a new owner.
Great, questions from the board?
No, it's just my understanding that this project, which was approved, I guess, back in 2016, has really helped revitalize that area. Very positive impact on the on that particular location.
Sounds good. Just want to confirm with the staff that as the typical outreach process has occurred, that all project abstracts are sent to the particular member of the legislature that represents that project area.
Yes.
Great. Fantastic, thank you.
And Andrew, it's just changing control, right?
This is just change in ownership, correct?
Okay.
Great. Any questions on this? Any other questions, comments? I'll entertain a motion. Is there a motion?
Motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those abstentions is approved. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Great, thank you.
Great afternoon. Thank you.
Next up is Comtech PST Corp.
Yes,
Kelly.
also known as still on. So Comtech was before the board, just in 23, the board will recall because they relocated a number of employees out of state. This board considered lowering the FTE full-time equivalent requirement at the time to 106. And I will report that they are currently at 118 FTEs, so they're well above what their commitment was to the board. This is a request for consent to sale of town, and I'm gonna have Andrew once again talk about the legal transaction.
Sure. So similarly, this is also a transfer transaction where the board is being asked to consider authorization of what in this case is an upstream transfer of corporate ownership of the overall entity, and as a result, with the benefits and the entire project staying unchanged at the operating company level. So just to put a finer point on it, it is the entire upstream entity that is being sold to a public company. Stellant has various plants in the US, one on Long Island and several others, and the entire upstream entity is getting is basically getting new corporate ownership without any change globally. So no impact on employment, no impact on the benefits. I think what's also important to say that this is also a relatively old transaction that goes back to 2017. And I believe there is approximately 2 years left on the 10-year pilot term. And also, if there are any questions, there is a representative of Stellant to help answer them present.
Thank you. Questions?
Andrew, with all these transactions and similar to the one previously before, when there's a change in ownership or control, there's otherwise no change to the obligations of the new owner. They just assume from the old owner.
That is correct.
all the obligations.
And technically, it's a little bit different between the two because here it really is just a consent to the upstream ownership.
Yeah.
But all the documentation, everything stays in place. In the one previously consented to, there's going to be an assignment and assumption of the documents and obligations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Questions from our board who are remote? Any questions?
No,
We should just be reaching out to them in general, just to see, you know, ultimately what their plan is hopefully their plan is to stay and continue to grow on Long Island. And we're here to help them if they are. Hopefully not, to go someplace else.
Sure. Hi, my name is Michael Rebenko. I'm the general manager of the facility in Melville. And the plan is to remain the exact same facility, exact same employee base, exact same goal. That goes for all of the staff, as Andrew pointed out, that goes for all of the staff. All of the facilities are remaining in the exact same activities.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you. I just had a quick question on the project abstract. Maybe Kelly, you could answer this, or transaction counsel. I see that, it says, proposed first year under number of employees, 124, second year, 132. And then I see on the comments, that we consented to adjusted employment requirements, from 132 to no less than 106.
Correct.
So, is it the 106 FTEs that is the controlling number, or
Yes,
is
it
it
is.
the 124, 130?
106.
106, okay, great.
And as I reported earlier, they are currently at 118 as of the end of 2025.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none, is there a motion? I'll entertain a motion from the board.
I'll make a motion.
To approve?
Yep. Approved.
Second by George. All those in favor?
I,
Aye.
Those are abstentions? Seeing none, it is approved. Thank you. Canon USA is next.
Thank you.
Canon, so to reporting on. As talked about earlier, we are in our final phases of our Paris compliance reporting. Canon reported their numbers at the end, the fourth quarter of 2025 as 1,112. And their commitment is 1,081. So they still are in excess of what their commitment is to us. I did have a meeting with Canon officials several weeks back, and they fully intend to continue to live up to their obligation to maintain the number of employees as committed to the agency.
Great. And that commitment is documented in section 811 of the lease agreement, correct?
That's correct.
Great, thank you. Questions from the board?
No.
No.
Oh, Kelly, sorry. Go ahead, Kevin.
no, I'm fine, thank you.
Oh, Kelly, we talked about there was a layoff notice and we were gonna look into whether or not there was any kind of filing required.
Billy looked into that for us, right, Bill?
Yes, I did. And that's called a warn notice. It's very complicated. And it'll take me a lot of time to explain it to the board whether or not they're obligated. It has to do with the size of the company, the percentage of the layoff.
Well, my question was more along the lines of, was there anything we can learn from any filings that were made that would impact the employment number that we were given, or what the effective employment number is?
The company has to file ST 45, so the new board members, those are employment numbers. And then we have the option per our documents to request to look at books, payroll, internal records, or any proof of FTE compliance. We have that right. So, but normally we take it from the ST 45s, correct, Kelly?
That's correct. You're right.
And the ST last filing showed what?
That showed the number of 1,112. But, Bill, in your investigation, there were no warrant notices that were, on file for. Kevin.
No, I
Is that
didn't see
right?
any. They would have to put the employees on notice, but I don't think they have to because it goes by a certain number, and if it's more than 33% of their workforce, which it wasn't, depending on the size of the employer. So no, they did not have to pursuant to law.
Great.
So as far as we know, they're meeting their obligations to report that to us and responsible.
That's correct.
Perfect, thank you.
Great, thank you. We're moving on to other business. Signatory slate of office, committee assignments, agency accounts. Greg, as chair of governance, did you want to report out on that or?
Sure. The committee considered adding certain or amending certain information with respect to in the Suffolk County Industrial Development Agency signatories on agency accounts. So that the file would be authorized signatories for 2026. Sarah Lansdale, you, Kevin Harvey, myself, Chris Damianos, and Kelly Murphy. So we recommended approval of that. We recommended the approval of the 2026 slate of officers. Sarah Lansdale as the chair, Kevin Harvey as the vice chair, myself as the treasurer, and Chris Damianos as the secretary. And we also discussed the 2026 committee assignments. And the committee recommended for the audit and finance committee at the Kevin Harvey chair, Sarah Lansdale, Greg Casamento, and Chris as most members, as well as for the governance and compliance committee, myself as chair, Sarah Lansdale, Chris Damianos, and George Schwartz as the members.
Thank you. Any comments, thoughts, other thoughts on that? Seeing none, I'll entertain, we have to approve, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve all of the.
Second by George, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those are abstentions, it is approved. Minutes from the last meeting were circulated. Can new members of the board vote on minutes from?
No.
Just want to make sure. So, minutes from the last meeting, is there a motion to approve? Greg, you'll make that motion? You were not there. Okay, I do not think we have enough votes for it then. If you were not there,
Yeah, you can't.
yeah, okay, so we're gonna adjourn that and move to the year-end review. Kelly, did you wanna talk about that?
Joe, can you bring that up? Joe and I are gonna present the year-end report. I'm gonna start with the first half. We will get through it as quickly as possible. Philly's looking as well, so I take that as a cue. It's available if you'd like, we can send it to you online. This is something we do every year. We've said a few times today, you know, really stellar year for the agency, so we just want to briefly overview. It says 10 projects, it was actually 11 if we include Sunrise, which was an assignment and assumption. This is the capital investment, jobs created and retained. Average salary, which was something that several board members were always interested in, was 65,000, which is a really terrific number. Moving on to just quickly some of the success stories that you'll recall, if you could advance, Joe.
Kelly, that slide that you just have there, go back one, please. That's not done, that's 1,113 jobs, or what's the dollar sign there for?
It's a mistake. It's supposed to be just jobs.
Okay, fine, thank you.
Thanks for pointing that out.
Mhm.
So Gemini Pharmaceutical, this is a family-owned business, contract manufacturer, really dynamic company. They've got 256 jobs. They're expected to create 50 additional jobs. This, you may recall, was a campus plan. They're expanding into probiotics. They do R&D, they do manufacturing, they do distribution. We're working on, Sarah had directed the agency, but another initiative we're working on is updating a report that we did on pharmaceutical and nutraceutical companies in the county. And Mike Venamar, the CEO, has volunteered to participate, Sarah, as a stakeholder. Next one is Sterling North America, full service printing company. They do print management for financial services. Again, this is over a $6 million investment to renovate 101 Corporate Drive. 253 existing positions, 8 new jobs. They're bringing on another terrific company. Next is Nationwide 360. They manufacture trade show displays. He was looking for a building for years and finally came across one. He got tripped up through COVID several times, but and thought that he may have to close down. But he's a real success story, real terrific, dynamic CEO and really growing business. We're happy to have them in Suffolk County. Next is Residence Inn by Marriott in Melville. This is a $50 million project. Recently spoke at an event at this hotel. Really did just an amazing job. 500 construction job, really fills a need for long-term stay close to transit, close to downtown Huntington, Babylon, Farmingdale. Really great addition to the 110 corridor. Next and last is the Cornerstone in Kings Park. The board will recall this is a $22 million, 46 unit TOD transit oriented development project in Kings Park. Long in the heart of the downtown. They're able to build this as a result of the sewer expansion in Smithtown and Kings Park, which was in the making for a very, very long time. Of the 11 projects, 8 of them were manufacturing. 1 was assisted living, 1 was multifamily housing, and 1 was a hotel. Moving on to our thought leadership and event participation. As we do every year, we participated in the HIA-LI trade show, as we will again this year on May 28th. It's a full day. Last year was close to 4,500 participants. We have a strong partnership with the HIA-LI. I am actually a board member for HIA-LI as well. But this is always a tremendous turnout. As always, everybody is welcome to join. Please consider doing that. Walking the floor, or there's all kinds of programming. And you can see Joe with Cracker Jack here, who's hopefully gonna get him back again this year. So moving on to the next is.
Or we could just have Joe dress up as Quack.
In June, we did a CEO breakfast, which was hugely successful. Several hundred CEOs. And the county executive was our keynote speaker. He focused on discussing building a stronger innovation pipeline by supporting research institutions and emerging technology. He talked a lot about business attraction and expansion efforts and being tied to industry clusters like pharmaceutical, nutraceutical, and targeting the downtown and the development zones throughout the county. And lastly, about infrastructure planning and treating that as a prerequisite for housing and long-term economic growth. Next, can we put a picture of the county executive? There we go. Speaking of the Stone Bridge, which is right across the street. And next is IDA annual dinner highlights. We did this in partnership with the LIBDC. Most of the IDAs in the county do one dinner each year. And it brings together industry leaders to talk about, again, you know, the attraction and expansion of companies and job opportunities and what the regional priorities are. And once again, the county executive was kind enough to be our keynote speaker and certainly helped draw a pretty big crowd to the event. And many of our transaction counsel were kind enough to join us as well. And at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Joe. You'll be for yourself.
Yeah.
So over the course of the last 2025, we've increased our marketing in relationship to our reach. Over the last year, in the fall, we started a new ad campaign and we had a really nice topic here, a move to Suffolk, your launch pad for success. We worked with our marketing firm, PRMG. And it was really designed to show how Suffolk County is positioned to be that hub for biotech manufacturing, clean energy, logistics, IT, and production. It was really good because we focused on CEO ownership and we were able to reach out to CEOs, CFOs, and companies that were in a growth pattern. So it was strong. We were able to tap into LinkedIn and Google and then Google Ads. This is what the ad campaign looked like over the various different venues. So the one on the right, the top right, we actually use that one here. It's not actually showing. Top right, we use that one for our email campaigns, which reaches about 6,000 individuals, stakeholders, and it was extremely successful. And then the other banner ads, they would run across some LinkedIn and Google Ads. So one thing when you're advertising and you're spending money, you would like to see some actual analytics. So the analytics here is really strong. So down here at this chart, where it says 4662, that was 3 months prior to the ad campaign starting. And we actually increased over 180% as far as our website visits, which was really strong, especially if you, in a day like now, where you get bombarded with social media marketing and email marketing, and it's just constant. So it was nice to see that the traffic actually flowed into our website. We had over 10,000 or almost 11,000 engagements. From LinkedIn, we actually sent out over 5,300 messages, but in my opinion, the success was actually the ratio of almost 48%, which is really strong, especially like I said, in today's world where you get bombarded with a lot of advertisement. Here are some of our sponsorship and marketing campaigns that we do jointly. The one on the left is the trade show that Kelly had mentioned earlier with HPA. We do have the 2025, that was our Met ad, again with our marketing firm PRMG. And in your packets, you should have the new ad from 2026. And on the right is just a whole bunch of different sponsorships that we attend and conferences that we attend across Long Island. On social media, we generally have a following of anywhere between 700 and 1,500 followers, depending on which platform. LinkedIn seems to be our most successful. We've actually increased our followership this year by almost 5%, which is pretty strong. And we continue to try to get increases in Facebook and over at X as well. Email marketing campaign, it goes out to over 6,000 stakeholders. And you can see here, the one in the middle is our, I believe that is our breakfast campaign that Dr. Shapiro helped us put together. And that was actually really strong. And once again, that went out to about 6,000 individuals. So we do that with any type of main event that we have coming along, as well as any highlights for projects that have closed, where we will highlight their some of the success stories within the project, like the square footage, the capital investment made on the particular project. And always, we generally try to keep in there always the number of jobs retained and the number of jobs expanded. Again, the email analytics are great. The one thing that stands out for us, I believe, is our unsubscribe rate, is that it's not even 1%. So people stakeholders must like the messages that we're sending, because they're not turning it off and they're not saying, hey, we don't want to bother with you anymore, which is always nice. And we do have a pretty decent open rate of about 25%, which, on a monthly basis is we're hitting almost 3,000 individuals. And, they're all business leaders, business owners, CFOs. So it is a good clientele of the individuals who are receiving our email content. Any questions on our marketing?
Joe, where's the ad?
I believe it's closer to like the first quarter of.
Sorry, we meant to tab those for you guys. It's pretty close to the beginning.
Right, it's
Yeah,
like in the
pretty
first quarter.
close.
Kelly, do you want to do the controllers or you want me to do that?
You can do that and I'll just jump in at the end.
Sure, okay, so, the controller for, 2025, he reports 2 years behind. And, Suffolk County was strong again. It shows here that I believe we had 142 projects and we had, either retained or created, I believe this is a created number of 11,900 jobs, for the time up until 2023. And we had, combined projects of almost 2.6 billion in private investment. So strong numbers.
And just to add to that, during this report, they're always a solid year behind once they do the audits. So we enter Paris, and it takes another year for it to catch up. We are number 4 in the state in terms of net jobs gained, and number 4 in the state in terms of total full-time jobs out of 106 IDAs. So those are something the board and your leadership should be very proud of, creating jobs for Suffolk County. Number 4, pretty cool.
Then we found the ad.
You have.
Percent.
Thank you.
Sounds good.
And then the last one is just kind of a slide to show the many different partnerships that we have with utilities and different government entities that without an EDO here on the island, which we're all working to correct, we have always had a model that we work with our partners. We make sure all our clients are aware of the benefits, not only here at the IDA, but what the county has to offer, what utilities, what the state has, and we put them in touch with government liaisons. So, and that is our report for 2025.
Thank you. Questions, comments from the board?
I just have one question. Kelly, one of the things I was always interested in the controller's report was the type of bang we got for the buck. In other words, is that information available? In other words, what we spent tax wise as an incentive for the jobs that we got. Normally it ranked pretty low.
Yes, good point, Kevin. I'm sorry, I didn't include that in the report. I can certainly email that to the board. It was, again, a fairly low number. And the number that you're talking about is the cost of benefits per job. And it was still in the neighborhood of, say, $1,000, as opposed to some of the higher numbers are, in double digits. So I'll supply that number to the board. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, that would be great, because I think even the new board members should see it, because
Yeah.
it reflects our fiduciary responsibility to the Suffolk County taxpayer and how we do our due diligence to try to get the best bang for the buck per job.
Great.
Thank you, Kevin. Chris, do you have any?
No, excellent report. And obviously we're looking forward to a lot more transactions this year in 2026 and getting people to invest in our county and hire employees and retain employees. That's what we're all about.
Thank you. Any other comments from the board at this time?
I think it's an excellent presentation. Thank you. And I think what would be interesting is if we look back at these presentations, maybe for the last 5 to 10 years, and see if we see any significant trends or differences in what we did over that period of time versus what we're doing now. That might be an idea to.
Yeah, that's a pretty good idea. We can do that.
Thank you.
Great. With that, I'm going to move on to the 2025 IDA financial report, and I'm going to turn it over to Kevin, who is chair of the Audit and Finance Committee. Kevin?
Thank you, Sarah. Yes, the Audit and Finance Committee met earlier to review and vote to approve to the board the 2025 audit, which was done by Stephanie and Sharon and Company and Brian. So what we did is we did vote to approve that. The results were very positive. So that being said, I would like to see if we can get a motion for the full board to accept the Suffolk County IDA draft financial report for 2025.
Make a motion.
So Greg made the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
You have a motion and a second.
Who's second?
Chris
Chris.
Adams.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Any other business before us? Seeing none, we are adjourned. Thank you.